Alright, let's dive into the fascinating world of interruptions in public speaking. You know, it sounds counterintuitive, but interruptions can actually enhance a conversation. The trick is, it's not about cutting people off, it's about keeping the energy and the engagement alive. So how do we do that?
Wow, that's a surprising way to start. I always thought interruptions were just rude, you know? Can you give me an example of when an interruption might actually be helpful?
Absolutely. Picture this, you're at a conference, and a speaker is going on about a really important point, but they're beginning to lose the audience's attention, right? Suddenly, you have that one audience member who jumps in and says, "Excuse me, can you elaborate on that example you mentioned earlier?" This isn't just an interruption, it's a lifeline that brings everyone back to focus.
Ah, I see. So it's kind of like rescuing them from drowning in boredom, haha. But what if someone does interrupt and it's not in a very nice way? How do we handle that sort of situation?
That's a great question. Politely handling interruptions is key here. One technique is to acknowledge the interruption, like you could say, "That's an interesting point, but let me finish my thought." This shows respect for their input, but also reinforces your control of the conversation.
Oh, right. Kind of like guiding it back on track, yeah? That reminds me of this time I was in a group project, total chaos. People were all over the place, and someone just shouted over everyone. It was super awkward. Would that have worked there?
Exactly. In a group project, if someone shouts over others, it can indeed feel chaotic. In that scenario, you might want to call for a moment of silence, not in a heavy-handed way, but maybe say something like, "Let's take a moment to regroup, so we can hear all perspectives." It's about being tactful and inclusive while keeping control.
Warrington May. So it's like, navigating a ship in stormy waters or something. You need to steer it without capsizing it, haha. But are there techniques you can practice to get better at this?
Absolutely. One fantastic technique is to rehearse your interruptions in low-stakes situations, like when you're chatting with friends or even during small meetings. Try gently interrupting. Just observe their reactions. This practice will help you gauge the effectiveness of your approach.
That's super helpful. So like lightweight practice before you go into the big leagues, right? But what about those people who just seem oblivious to social cues? You know, they just don't pick up on it at all.
The oblivious ones. They can be challenging. In such cases, one powerful technique is to use humor to lighten the mood while asserting your point. A light-hearted remark like, "I hate to interrupt, but I think we've all drifted to the moon and back on this topic," can re-engage everyone while signaling that it's time to refocus.
Haha, that's brilliant. Using humor, that's a clever way to soften the blow. Have you ever had to do this live, like in front of an audience?
Oh, absolutely, many times. There was this one time I was speaking, and someone from the audience began an unrelated tangent about their cat. I smiled and said, "As much as I love hearing about Mr. Whiskers, let's steer back to our topic on public engagement." Laughter erupted, and it lightened the tension but refocused us immediately.
That's fab. So you turned a slightly awkward moment into, a mini event? It sounds like a magic trick, really, haha. Can anyone really master this?
Yes, definitely. It just takes practice, timing, and a bit of confidence. If you're conscious of how you're steering the conversation and respect the other speaker, you can master this art. Think of it as learning to dance. You'll stumble initially, but with practice, you'll glide effortlessly.
Oh, I love that analogy. Dancing with words, haha. But isn't it possible that some people just won't respond well, no matter how tactful you are?
That's a painful truth. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we can't please everyone, and that's, alright. The key is to stay calm, assertive, and respectful, even when faced with resistance. You'll find that more often than not, people appreciate that you're trying to keep the conversation engaging.
Ryu, such great insights. So, we're basically trying to become conversational ninjas, huh?
Perfect way to sum it up. It's all about blending respect with assertiveness, ninja skills indeed.